Could you use a quick tip daily? How about a tip that can impact your day? My name is Rafael. Join me as I bring you tips by experts around the world. These experts have shared their knowledge and wisdom with me and will directly share them with you. Make sure to subscribe, like, follow, and comment, and I would love for you to become part of the New Tip Daily community. Good morning, Chip. How are you? Happy Friday.
Great, Rafael. Great to see you again.
Yes, absolutely. I am excited because today you're going to be helping us understand a personal mission statement. What does that mean, a personal mission statement?
Well, I didn't know for a long time what it was. I was thinking about this as I was waiting. I think we spend the first part of our life just trying to figure it out. And then once we figure out what the right question is, then we spend the rest of our life being that. The most important question you can ask yourself is, why am I here and what price am I willing to pay to be that? And I had heard about mission statements, and I can remember very vividly, probably 20, 30 years ago now, sitting on my couch at 3 a.m. in Thousand Oaks, California, overlooking the 101 with the traffic flowing by, going, why am I here? And, I'd had several careers at that point, and I realized I was here to make a difference in people's lives by helping them see their potential and then helping them focus on achieving that. And it turned out 10 years later, I ended up becoming a Vistage chair, where I got to realize that potential, which is all about helping people get the most out of life, and because they are focused. And the biggest thing is having the right question. You can have an answer to a question, but if it's the wrong question, it's worthless. So I think focusing on, what is my purpose? Why am I here? And where's my passion? And it just makes every day clearer. And, on my tombstone, I just asked for a few words. He made a difference.
That's powerful. I love the clarity aspect of it, because the questions help with clarity. If you're asking the wrong questions, you're going to get all over the place. And so asking the right questions helps with clarity, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah. And, and question the answer. Once you think you've arrived at it, dig deeper. Well, what's that about? Tell me, it's a personal journey. I think it's good to have a coach, as it's called now, where you sit down with somebody and talk it out, and somebody who's, got some wisdom, been there before, and can help you get clear on what you really need to do or want, do with their life. How many people have died with their music still in them?
Too many.
Yeah. And ultimately the only person that can find that music is yourself, but you've got to go on the journey and be aware. And once you find it, the doors open. My poem, I think I shared with you, Act Now. When I act, the universe provides all I need. When I act, doors open, help arrives. When I act, the unknown becomes known. We got to get off the couch, metaphorically speaking, turn off the TV and go out in the world and say, world, here I am. How can I add value? Or what is it that what are my gifts to share?
I always ask this question: is what is the cemetery full of?
A lot of unrealized dreams, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Most people say dead bodies.
Yeah,
they're not looking at the potential that was buried, right?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time traveling around the state when I was running this state for Vistage, and I'd be walking on the beach down in Fort Lauderdale or Miami and look at all these condos with all these retired, brilliant business people and think, that's the biggest waste of intellectual capital and horsepower there is, because these people could come out of their condos, volunteer, help in different areas, and make a huge difference. But, they retire because we've been sold that retirement is a good thing. And it's actually slow death, or in some cases fast death.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, when you put your head on the pillow, did I add any value? Did
That's it
I
right
make
there.
a difference? And then also, what are you grateful for? I every night I also wake up in the morning looking for gratitude.
Yeah, absolutely. When you, I love what you thought about when you're walking in the beach and you're looking at all those condos filled with people who retired. And somebody said to me, "When are you retiring?" I said, "First of all, I'm not tired, so I'm not retiring, right?" um,
I'm getting retreaded, but not retired.
that's it. I'm repurposing. I'm not retiring.
Yeah, I like it.
Um, you're so vibrant, as a young man yourself, you have so much that you're still doing, that you're moving forward with. And we were joking before, a little bit earlier, how vitality is so important. And you talked about not watching TV, but also scrolling. They can, people say, I have no time, yet they're on their phone doing this thing, right? And then they go, I have no time for that. But you have time for this? Oh my goodness. Go live your life. Go outdoors, connect with people, enjoy what the gifts you've been given.
Yeah, yeah. We only get one bite at this apple. Take a
Mhm.
big one and go for it. I just heard these statistics, and I don't have the exact numbers, but the amount of hours we spend on our phones is ridiculous.
Oof.
It, it's
Yeah.
it's it's mind numbing, and I get stuck every once in a while. Somebody send me something, I'll start scrolling, and I go, "Where's this getting me?"
Nowhere.
Nowhere. So it's easy to fall in the rabbit hole. It's just being conscious enough to get out of it.
It's interesting that you talk about the rabbit hole. It's on my drive this morning. I was up at 4. I'm driving around 5:15, and I always, it's a 6-minute drive, but I listen to the news to see if there's anything happening, right? And that's all. I listen for about 6 minutes, and then that's it. I don't listen to it anymore. I don't watch television or stuff of that nature. But one of the things that was a commercial for the statistics of how many people lost their lives last year because they were texting and driving. It was a phenomenal number, and I'm like, and all they said is, "Can you imagine his?" I love this part of the commercial. Can you imagine in the old days if your grandpa or grandma took out the typewriter while they were driving?
No, it's scary.
So why would you be texting, right? It's the same analogy, but they never took out a typewriter. And think about it, right? Why
Yeah,
is a text so important that it can't wait till you get to your destination and you can lose your life?
yeah. No, I was driving yesterday on the 275, and there was a big sort of a traffic backup. And as I got around this guy, he was literally on his phone driving about 45 miles an hour on the freeway.
Uh-huh.
It's like, God,
Yeah, it's
is
so
there
sad.
any intelligent life form out there?
So that person is not understanding what we're talking about today, is redefining your personal mission statement. Your mission should not be about texting, it should be about connections. And
Yeah,
when you text, you should do it in a safe spot anyway,
right.
right?
And not put other people's lives at risk.
Mhm, mhm. So
It's
when
a,
we think about your personal mission statement,
mhm.
it's not about the next person. It's not about the person that you want to aspire to be. It's about your current state. But maybe it could be goal setting, right?
Mhm.
Talk to us about that if you don't mind.
Well, it's where are you in life? I mean, I have lots of goals. I'm chairman of 3 different nonprofits, and thinking about another book. So it's all in the context of my personal mission,
Mhm,
and what am I doing today to accomplish the big long term goals,
right.
like having a conversation with you. I mean, I think hopefully if one person listens to us and changes something about their life and they become more fulfilled, then you and I had a win.
We did, we did.
And
I have
so
a win, I'm talking to you.
back at you.
Thank you.
So yeah, so I think if you know where you're going, then the next question you have to is, what do I need to do today to get to that goal? So it's one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. And time is the most precious asset we have, and the only one that can't be recovered. And, there's things you can do. You make a bad investment and you can figure out how to make a good one to cover for that. But once you've lost that minute, that nanosecond, it's gone.
It is gone. It is gone. And here's something that a lot of people don't do is they take time for granted.
Take time for what?
Granted.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. Right.
Like scrolling. And all of a sudden, I lost an hour. I lost 3 hours. Look at your phone, everybody. Take a look at your phone and go on how much time you can do that, especially if you have an iPhone. You can look at how much time you spend on what.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I've done that a couple times and said, shame on me.
Right?
Yeah. No, I mean, you don't realize it. And it's so easy.
It is easy because you know what? It's all
like
this
a drug.
fun things, right?
Pardon?
It's a fun thing. So I'm going to share with you something, right? I had 2 grandparents who came to watch their grandchild. The problem is they showed up to watch their grandchild. They didn't watch their grandchild. You know what they did? Both grandparents were sitting, yes, they were scrolling, but they weren't even sitting next to each other. They were 4 seats apart. And I kind of jokingly said to them after the class finished, I said to them, are you texting each other? And they laughed. And they laughed. And then I said, and then the grandfather said to me, no. He goes, unfortunately, I'm scrolling and it's addictive and I hate it. And I said, you know who's in control of that? And he smiled at me. But then he put the phone away. But they didn't really pay attention to what their grandchild was doing. So they missed an opportunity to share that time with their grandchild.
Deb and I were out to dinner a couple of weeks ago and see this young family come in, mom and dad and a little girl, and they sit down at the table. And the first thing to do is they set up a little stand for the little girl so she can put her phone so she doesn't have to hold it. They get off their phones and they're scrolling. And we thought, well, when the food comes, they'll all stop. No.
Wow.
You spend much time with your kid?
So we need to teach our youngsters to start their personal mission statement at what age?
Well, I guess I have a bias that you need to get some scar tissue before you can really answer that question. But I guess you could also put in the context is, what is my personal mission statement at age 9 or my personal mission statement at age 20? And maybe the mission statement is to figure out what I want to do when I grow up. But I think the biggest thing is being aware of that true north that you create for yourself. And, when I was younger, one of the things always my father taught me, don't lie, cheat, or steal. So there's a personal mission statement that sets a foundation. And I don't know if I shared with you when we talked last time about no worky, no eaty. My dad, this is preschool, we were living in Burbank and we had an avocado tree and things would, not an avocado tree, but a peach tree, and things would fall off and they'd rot. And so my job was to pick those up every day. And one day I don't know why, when you're 5, you don't think things through. Right. I didn't pick them up. He comes home and says, you didn't pick them up. I said, no. He said, well, no worky, no eaty. So I don't think people understand how we are responsible for ourselves and for our outcomes. So I guess the first thing is personal responsibility in terms of a personal mission statement.
Yeah. It's interesting. This morning I was reading the Bible, and in Psalm, I think it was 80, it talked about, treat your neighbor right because you're treating yourself right.
Yeah.
That's the concept. And I like what your dad said. No picking, no eating. Right?
Yeah.
If you don't get the food, how are you going to eat? Right.
Right. And and that's always, I've horrible at school, but I always had a great work ethic, and that's what has helped me be what some people would say successful. And it is all about just doing the work, rolling up the sleeves. Job needs to get done. Go do it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Chip, when you consider your life, you've had an enormous life. Um, what's one lesson that you recall that really has shaped who you are? Because you said it for a long time, you didn't know what your personal mission statement is, but now you do, and you're sharing it with us. So, what would that be for you?
So the personal mission statement is helping others, but are you saying what was the event that created that? Is that, am I trying to?
That, or what in your whole life, if you're looking back, what's that one thing that has truly shaped you?
I think being a lousy student and overcoming that by working after school and summers. Um, I had to find my own personal worth. I think that's one of the first things we have to do. And I can remember vividly my junior year of high school, standing outside of Leon's Young Men's Shop where I was a salesperson on Palm Canyon Drive, and realizing, because people would come back and see me and want me to help
Mhm.
them, that I had value. It was the first time I could really think,
Wow.
yeah, Chip, you do exist to help others.
Yeah, yeah. That's big, and so you've carried that along,
Hmm.
because even today you're here helping, right? You're here hoping, like I'm hoping that somebody who is watching us now will even share this episode with somebody else who they know they need to hear this message, right?
Yeah,
Because
right,
it's about sharing, right?
right.
One of the things that I always tell people, sharing is caring, but caring is sharing. So they go both hand in hand.
I was in a multi-level sales meeting of about 200 people one time, and the people had put taped candles under each chair, and the leaders had one started with one candle, lit another, and then they had everybody get it out, and lighting another person's candle
Mm.
was the metaphor. Is it once your candle was lit, then you'd light the next row, and they'd light the next row.
Mhm.
And I guess we're here to be a light and
Yeah.
help others find their light and let their light shine.
Yeah, yeah. It's incredible when we can shine the light on somebody who may be only seeing darkness. Right?
Yeah, I've been blessed because of the work I did and still am doing. I can't tell you how many calls from friends that I worked with that said that I changed the direction of their lives, and I
Wow.
didn't change them. I just brought up the subject. They changed them.
True.
But and I had one kid that was an alcoholic, and I told him to stop working for a while and go get it fixed. And I had lost track of him. That was in Illinois, and I was living in California. And then, like 6 years later, I'm in Florida, and I get this call, and it says, "This is." And I go, "Oh, how are you?" He said, "I'm now a manager of a Walgreens store because you told me what to do." And
Wow.
he did it. I didn't do it, but
Mhm.
that just makes me feel like we're
Yeah.
doing good.
You did God's work. I was talking to somebody who kept feeling bad because they were, I don't know, at the time I think they were like 5 months sober, and they were on the verge of tears. They were not happy, and I said, you're doing incredible work, and I want to remind you that when you go to heaven, God is not judging you because you're not being sectioned off. All the alcoholics over there,
Yeah, right, right, yeah.
all the ones that did this over there, the ones over there, you're not being sectioned off, right? So God is going to love you no matter what you've done, and because He died for our sins, right? Because we're all sinners, one way or another. But the thing is to, I guess, repent and understand that alcoholism is a disease, And once you, just like if you go for a cold, you have a flu, you go get a shot and so forth, you still have to do the work. You had to go to the doctor to begin with,
Mhm.
right? So if you're an alcoholic or a gambler or anything, addicted to anything, you have to do the work to get out of it. Nobody
Yeah.
can do it for you. I mean, you can go to places that assist you, but the work is still yours.
Yes. That's true across all aspects of life.
Mhm. Anything you want to accomplish in life,
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt to have people on your side.
No, and asking for help. I think that's, part of that is our egos. "Oh, I can do this myself."
Right.
But, it takes a village. I have been so blessed. I think I don't know if I shared with you last time we talked that I have a list of 100, it's now more than 100 people who opened the door for me in my life.
Mm,
And, I hope someday, maybe on somebody else's list, one person's list, maybe I open the door for them.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, I think that's what we're here for. We're here to be angels to each other.
That's right.
It's in my first book, A Passion for Life, Reflections on the Journey. There's a poem in there about being angels for each other.
Mm, yeah. I got to tell you, you definitely have touched upon me. So thank you for all you do. When we think about what you're doing, right? Your website is going across the bottom. It's unityinservice.org. So tell us what somebody can expect when they go to your website.
Well, it just kind of gives a background of why I wrote the book. There's one podcast on there I need to get more on, but go to the button that says poem, and I wrote a poem about micro validations,
Mm,
and that's part of being an angel to each other. And if we do nothing else after this conversation, is if we open the door for somebody and say hello or recognize somebody's humanness, smile at them, um, then we're validating other people's humanness and their being. I think that the loneliness issue we have in this country has a lot to do with people not getting off the couch and going out and volunteering and getting involved. So
mhm.
that's what they have to do themselves.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we can be that candle that goes around and lights other people's candles.
yeah. I made some great connections when I did volunteer. Not too long ago, I volunteered for this incredible woman, Andy, and she's doing something against human trafficking.
Mm,
And I drove a couple of hours to go to her event and just volunteer. I said, "Use me any way you want. How can I help?" And the connections I made because I was helping were great. They were phenomenal. But I wouldn't have made them if I didn't. If I stayed home and watched something on Netflix or whatever it is, I would never have grown as a human being. I
yeah.
wouldn't have helped such a great cause, right? So thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for who you are, Chip.
Well,
Um,
thank you, Raphael.
I love our connection, my friend. I really do.
I'm looking forward to seeing you in Tampa.
Yes, we're gonna make that happen. Can I share something quickly?
Please.
Here's our Tampa. Here's our current event that's happening in New York, but we're gonna have one in Tampa too. Take a look, everybody.
The city never sleeps, and neither do the dreamers who build its pulse. From every corner of the globe they come. Visionaries, creators, leaders, each carrying a spark ready to ignite the world. This is not an event, it's a revolution of rhythm and reason. A symphony of minds, a movement of momentum. Sifu Rafael, Lancelot, Jose Escobar. Together they set the stage for brilliance. This is the NYC experience. Mastermind, light up the city. They coming from the east, coming from the west. Knowledge on deck, put the truth to the test. Leaders in motion, hearts in sync, dropping wisdom so deep it'll make you think. They bring stories, sweat and flame, different faces, one shared name. Elevation, that's the sound. NYC experience, mastermind, where purpose is found.
Wow. Did you do that?
I did. I did.
You're
I,
the
I get a
busiest
little.
guy.
I
You're
get
the
a little
busiest guy in
creative.
show business,
I'm
Rafael.
sorry. Say
You're
that
the
again.
busiest guy in show business.
Thank you, my friend. Yeah, I got to tell you, I have so much fun doing stuff like that because the passion comes in getting to know people, right?
Mhm.
That's why I'm excited that you're going to join us when we do our Tampa event happening February 28th through March 1st, which is a Saturday and Sunday. So, yeah, stay tuned, everybody. We'll have that information coming up soon. But
Great.
meanwhile, join us in New York, December 6th and 7th. It's going to be phenomenal. As I tell the kids, farm animal. Right? Chip, thank you so much for being here with us. Have yourself an exceptional day. Everybody, make sure you share this incredible episode. Chip has incredible advice for us. Thank you for the tips. Really appreciate you, my friend. Everybody, have a beautiful rest of your day. Take care.
Thank you, Rafael.
You got it.